I said I would never say anything about it, but there we go. That's what happened.
So that was what happened.
It was 10 years ago. The show's not on the air anymore anyways. I know Carson Daly had to go out of town for the week or something like that, so they actually pre-taped a week of TRL, you know, and I guess they just kind of faked all the...
the requests.
All the
faked
requests.
all the voting.
It's a bunch of bullshit.
Yeah.
Bravo for the honesty. What's the Hitler story? Is that true or not?
Completely not true.
Right,
that was a weird rumor.
It's a big rumor, though.
Big rumor. There was a while there where I thought, oh, is this going to, be something that really kind of dogs me for a long time? And I never did that. Never did that. Never really have done any racial humor on the show. I just kind of, maybe it's a Canadian thing or something like that, but I've just sort of avoided
We don't
that.
even have to say what the rumor was.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, most people know anyway.
Huh? A lot of people...
I don't know. It still floats out there. People are wondering if it was true or not.
Probably no worse than what I do on a nightly basis at my house.
There's various versions of it.
But it's
I haven't heard
from Tom Green.
I haven't heard it that
Green
much
himself.
in the last couple of years. But when I basically what happened was when I got cancer and the show stopped pretty abruptly.
Yeah.
There was a rumor that I got canceled because I dressed up as Hitler, and there's one version was I went to a bar mitzvah with a paintball gun or something like that, dressed as Hitler.
Christ.
I've never done that.
The only reason I bring it up, you think someone had it out for you, and they were trying to fuck you over a little bit?
I kind of think that I heard...
That's a weird rumor to...
I've heard a few versions of how it started. One was some kid did it in Boston, and there was... the police arrested him, and he said he was me, and it made a local paper. Another version was there was a show that was being there was a sort of a prank show on TV that somebody did something like that. But honestly, I don't know where it came from. But it really was one of those strange, it was sort of my gerbil in the ass kind of thing. But I actually, remember putting wrote a whole letter and put it on my website and saying, I would never do something.
And they still didn't believe it, even though you're writing this on your website, I'm sure.
First of all, Hitler wouldn't have done it himself. He'd have sent one of his henchmen.
Yes.
So it wouldn't have been historically accurate.
Exactly.
Anyway.
That's what it was. I was actually dressed up as Joseph Goebbels or whatever. Come on, people.
Right.
And are you still doing the webcast? Because some people think that's canceled. You just don't do it as frequent?
I've canceled myself a few times. It's a great thing about doing a show in your living room. But no, it's still going on. I'm just on tour right now,
taking a break from
and I'm on the road right now. And what I'm doing is I actually take this. I take a video camera with me, which is always on me, and it's just a little tiny flip cam. I'll just shoot something right now.
Oh, look at that!
Oh, that's the still shot. But I shoot all sorts of little videos on the road, and we post these on Opie and Anthony right now. But so you can follow along the tour on the web. You go tomgreen.com, you can follow along with the tour. And then we actually tell people who are coming to our shows to bring cameras down. We don't ask them to film during the show because that kind of flips me out a bit because I don't really, I like to talk about things that I don't want to see on YouTube. But after the show, we kind of have these little video mosh pit kind of things, and
that's cool.
Hang out, and we post it all on the site, so that's cool. And then the idea is when I get back to what I want to do this year, we're trying to get a new sponsor for the site, and which we're sort of about to do, and then I want to actually start turning my house into a bit more of a multi-show channel. And when I'm on the road, I'm going to have other people host shows. So there's a few people that have, like Fred Durst has hosted a show from my house a couple times. He does this character called Kirby Chitwood, where he plays this kind of sort of a mountain man type character, and takes phone calls. And Norm Macdonald has said maybe he'd do it. Rob Schneider might come up and host some shows. So I want to sort of basically phone into my own living room from the road and have people host.
How funny is Norm Macdonald? Norm Macdonald is so fucking funny, man.
He's my favorite. He's from...
Is he one of your favorites?
Yeah, he is. Him and Harland Williams, when I was a kid, were my two favorite stand-ups, and they're both from Canada, and Norm's from Ottawa. And when I was sort of doing stand-up at Yuck Yucks when I was 15 years old, they were the headliners that were touring, and we would just we would be there every time, sort of waiting for them. So now that's the coolest thing about doing the shows. Now, I didn't really get to know Norm until I started doing this show, and I just invite everybody up who I love. And,
where's he been?
He's doing stand-up. He's doing a lot of stand-up right now, and he's doing his thing. So yeah.
You did Celebrity Apprentice with Dice. How was that? Because Dice got booted in the first episode.
That was pretty hilarious, actually, doing Celebrity Apprentice. I really enjoyed that. Because, first of all, I didn't know Dice was going to be on the show until the day of the show.
Really?
He didn't know he was going to be on the show until the day before they started shooting.
That's Dice.
And they flew him in, he was sort of they asked him at the last minute. They flew him in, and you know, I was going there really planning to win this thing. Really was the whole goal. I was gonna, because I'd watched the show. I actually liked the show. I thought it was. I think it's a funny show, and I thought I'd be kind of good at it, you know, just because I'm pretty organized, and you know, I thought I'd be able to win the show. So
Idea guy.
Then I find out the first day Dice is on, and I realized, oh, okay, when me and Dice get going, we sort of do this thing where I kind of play as straight man. He's sort of, you know, razzing on me the whole time, and it turns into this, and we really confuse everybody around us, you know, or he does, and I sort of make it worse by sort of playing into it. So I knew as soon as I found out he was going to be on there that I was going to screw up my whole strategy, you know, because I was all of a sudden in that sort of, you know, nutty comedy mode. And, you know, so, the funniest thing about that was, you know, he was, you know, we started out in the first episode was on the USS Intrepid, and the whole cast is there. And, Trump shows up on the helicopter, and he comes and he lands on his helicopter in the Intrepid, and it's this very dramatic thing, right? He said something to Dice that pissed Dice off. He said, "Hey,
hello."
He said, "Andrew, do you still like women?" He said, and that was all he said to Dice, right? And then we went downstairs into the, you know, what is it, the whole
the bow of the ship,
under you know,
the belly of the ship,
and getting ready to go to the boardroom where we would go to the boardroom. And Dice was fuming, really angry, because he just thought, you know, what's Donald talking about? You know, and he got really mad, started screaming at Mark Burnett, you know, about this. And we went to the boardroom, and Trump came in, and it was all very dramatic, and everyone's sitting there, and Dice just looks at Trump and he says, "Donnie, how come there's no cream cheese in the green room here? Huh? What's going?"
Donnie.
Yeah. So it was pretty bizarre. He got fired first episode.
Yeah, first episode.
Yeah.
He fucks it
We're
up.
like, Dice, hang in there.
That's Dice.
But I got fired because I went out drinking with Dennis Rodman. That's why I got fired.
Really?
Yeah, the third episode, I was the project manager. I was getting screamed at the whole time by Clint Black, getting screamed at by Scott Hamilton. And, you know, it's such a bizarre thing, you know, because they put all these, you know, douchebags in a room together, and everybody's sort of, you know, very much, I think, used to being sort of the center of attention, I guess, in their own little world, you know, Clint Black and Brian McKnight and Jesse James, and everybody's not used to working with a group where, you know, everyone's not hanging on their every word. And, you know, I was the youngest guy in the guys team, and, you know, probably, you know, they probably thought that I was a pushover or whatever. So they really sort of came down on me. It was just so annoying because their ideas didn't make any sense, and I got really very frustrated with it. So I went out, you know, I was the project manager on the third episode. I went out drinking with Dennis Rodman, and because Dennis was the only guy that was really kind of cool. Everyone else was a jerk, really, on the guys' side, and Rodman was having fun. And I thought, you know what, after pretty much 2 weeks of being sort of in this sort of horrible situation with all these jerks kind of yelling at you, I was like, you know, Rodman was like, "Let's go get a drink tonight." I'm like, "Yeah, let's go get a drink." And I was the project manager. We ended up out at Penthouse Strip Club till about 4 in the morning.
Right. Yeah, that
and
works.
I woke. I overslept my alarm on the day of the big project manager thing, you know. And Jesse James called me and woke me up. "Get out of bed, asshole!" He says. You know, Jesse James was a bit of a jerk to me.
Who is
too.
Jesse James?
He's the guy who's married to Sandra Bullock, who's was on the Monster Garage or whatever it's called.
Yeah, he's
builds
a-
things.
Yeah.
Fucking means nothing.
He's
I
a
never
bike
heard of
guy.
him.
But you know, so you know, I kind of. Dice said to me after he got fired, though. He said, "Tommy, you don't want to win this thing." You really felt good about, you know, going out in a blaze of glory. You know? You don't want to win the battle of the douchebags.
You want to
know?
be in there for a few weeks at least.
Yeah,
I am
yeah.
the greatest douchebag.
Oh, fuck,
Yeah,
Tom.
you know.
We can talk to you all day. This is great, but
No,
I think we
thanks.
got to take a break and all that.
I appreciate you guys having me on. This is
Well,
awesome.
let me say, you're playing comics, but I think this thing is going to have no problem selling out. But it's
Thursday, 2 shows Friday, 2 shows Saturday. Everybody come down. Bring your video cameras. We'll shoot some video after the show. And we're selling T-shirts.
Nice.
Yeah, it's fun. We hang out. We're really making it like a punk rock tour. You know, after the show, we go out, hang out, sell T-shirts, take pictures, goof off, have fun, and make some fun videos, and
cool.
having a great time. It's great to be back in New York City. I mean, it's really. I mean,
have you? And you had never been to comics, obviously. It's a nice club.
Yeah, really nice.
They do a good job down there.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the food is very good.
Where is it, Jimmy? It's
It's in the meatpacking district.
Yeah, on
14th and 9th.
exactly.
Yeah.
Okay.
How come you don't have a flip cam? You have a Canon.
Yeah, we all have flips.